Good morning to everybody, and welcome to our weekly Toscana Village Facebook Live. This is my second time, so I hope to be better than the first one. Well, today I'm here. In my back there is plot 49. This mobile home is called also Willerby Granada. I will show you how the home is, price as usual, and I will keep my promise as I did last time to talk you about Italy and the visits you can do starting from your home here in Italy. I stayed the whole week thinking what I'm talking about next week. I was wondering, then I had the brilliant idea, why don't we start from the beginning? Okay, so we will start from the beginning. I would like to introduce you history of Italy from the beginning till now, explaining the trips you can do, of course, and I'm open to suggestions. If you have advice or you want I go in deep in some argument, I will be glad to do. You can just comment and ask me, no problem. So, as you can see, even today is a sunny day. My God, we are in December, I can't believe it. Clear sky, blue sky, sunny. It's a bit chilly, but it's normal. What we can't ask more than this for the season. Okay, let's first talk about. We have a promotion. Okay, we have a Black Friday that you can take advantage on till the 30th of November. We offer stays. Discounted 15% for stays from April 24th on. So it's a good occasion if you want to plan your holidays for next year here in Tuscany. So we are talking about Tuscany. Many of you, they already know what is Tuscany, but maybe someone not. Tuscany is one of the 20 regions of Italy. Maybe is the most important, that's arguable, but historically and for the language, of course, it is exactly in the middle of Italy. And Tuscany, the name came from Etruscans, because some people think that, okay, Italian history started with Roman, and not exactly. There was people before Romans. Okay, most of these people were poor sheep breeders. They were known only because Greeks, sometimes they arrive on the coast and they trade something and they consider, of course, they were looking at them down upon. That's normal. But at a certain point in the 12th, 11th century before Christ, a population called Etruscans start to bloom. First in the north of Italy, in the region of Milan, of the Great Plains, industrial plains today. And then they settled especially in Tuscany. They found their paradise for the climate, for everything in Tuscany. Etruscans were a civilization very, very developed. They were in close contact with Greece. We don't know where they come from, maybe from Asia, from Troy, when Troy was destroyed, who knows. Then they mix up with people, Indo-European people coming from across the Alps, and they create this unique civilization. The language is quite unknown. We are trying to translate, but it's very complicated. The look of these people was quite oriental, so maybe they really come from Asia. However, these people were rich and important. They were, first of all, traders and pirates. They were on the coast both of Mar Tirreno and Mar Adriatico, the two seas of Tuscany. And you can imagine they developed the maritime trade and piracy. They were feared by all the people of the Mediterranean, and especially the Greeks and the Phoenicians who were trading all around the Mediterranean. Even the name of the sea, Tirreno, comes from Tirrenoi, who was how Greeks called Etruscans. And Adriatico, the other sea, come from Adria, that was the main harbor on that sea. So you see, the sea who surround Italy take the name from Etruscans. Then the Etruscans were absorbed by Romans. But at first, they were the lords, and they teach a lot of things to Romans. For example, sewers. The sewers was an invention of Etruscans. Romans come and see how these sewers were suitable for the towns, to clean the towns and to solve the problem of disease, of most disease. So they start to build sewers like Etruscans did. They took many other things from Etruscans, but they despised them because Etruscans were not like Romans. They enjoyed life. They didn't care so much about create an empire or the power of the army. They liked to stay on their towns and enjoy the food, the wine, women. Women in Etruscan society, they were important exactly like men. It was an egalitarian society. They did exactly the same thing, maybe more than men. And Romans didn't like this at all, because as you know, Romans, they considered women like a little bit more than animals. And so when they absorbed Etruscan society, they absorbed quite everything but this thing. Okay, let's stop for now about this. We will talk later about the trips you can do to see, to know something more about these important people, the Etruscans. Okay, let's talk about the home, plot 49, Willoughby, Granada. This home is, let me see, I show you. Okay, this home is not big. It's quite teeny and cozy. The dimension of this home, you see here the terrace, the dimension of this home are 30 square feet times 10 square feet. So it's around 30 square meters. It's not big, but you know, when you take a mobile home as a second home, it's not so important that the home is huge, because it's just a base where you can start to visit the country. And the important is the way you improve it inside. You see, this is the living room. Previous guests, they had a good taste. You see, they put a nice cushion here. You see the windows now, like all the mobile homes, is full of light. It's not gloomy. As usual, there is the aircon for heat and cold. Then we have the place where to cook, the oven. There are the stove. Here there is the furniture, simple and practical. There is the microwave, there is the fridge, here it is. Okay, I show you also, let's start from here. Here there is a first washroom. Here there is a bedroom. Okay. This is another washroom with a shower, the sink, the mirror. Then what else? Here there is another small bedroom. After all, I already count 4 bed places, so it's also for a family of 4 people, no problem. Okay, here there is the table. They ready. What's on it? Oh wow, champagne. That's a good choice. Not so much. I mean, this is the land of wine and. Wait, I turn. This is the land of wine and spumante. Our champagne is spumante, that is wheater. Champagne is a French wine that is very dry. I prefer dry one, I have to say, but yeah, it's okay. Champagne is okay. So, talking about the home, the cost of the home, first of all. This home is quite cheap. It's quite cheap. Is only £14,995. So it's the half of the other home I introduced you last week. The plot is always 3,295 euro per year. So is a good proposal for people who want a second home in Italy and doesn't want to spend so much. I would take this occasion if you are intention to come here. The costs are very low, and you will enjoy all the experience I am going to tell you in these weekly appointments. So we were talking about Tuscany. Italy was called at first by the Greeks the land of ox, because for them there was only people who were breeding oxes, and they start to colonize, of course, like all the important civilization do. So they were navigating, sailing around the coast of Italy, and they found towns like they did always, especially in the south of Italy. The first one was Ischia, Pitecusa, the island, but then a lot of southern Italy town came from the Greeks, were founded by the Greeks. And finally they met Etruscans, and they had to stop because Etruscans were very strong and determined to maintain their independence. Etruscans too, they took everything from Greece because they recognized the superiority of Greek civilization. So they took religion, they took philosophy, they took the architecture. It's very similar to that one of the Greeks. And the importance of Etruscan came also from the iron, because in the Elba Island, that is an important island here in front of the coast of Tuscany, they discovered iron ore, and at that time the iron were taking the place of bronze, and so they had plenty of iron. They could make tools and weapons in iron. Is that the reason of their strength and their importance? So, talking about trips, a first trip you can do if you want to see this part of Italian culture is to go to the seaside. Enjoy the seaside. Go to the Elba Island. It's a very nice island. In front of Elba Island there is Baratti, that is very nice too if you want to enjoy to swim, and if you want to dive, if you are a diver, these are important sites where to dive. So Isola d'Elba, Elba Island, and Baratti. Near Baratti there is Populonia. Populonia is an archaeological site, is the town of the dead. So it's a cemetery of Etruscans. There are important buildings like domes with the tombs of important Etruscans. If you are interested, you can combine your enjoyment at the seaside with the visit of Populonia. Near there is also Roselle. Roselle was a town of Etruscan people. Okay, it's very interesting if you are interested in archaeology. If you are not so fond about ancient stones, stay on the seaside and enjoy the seaside, is better. Moreover, Isola d'Elba, Elba Island, is also famous because it was the prison of Napoleon. Napoleon was imprisoned at first in Elba Island by the British because they didn't know where to put poor Napoleon. They put in Elba Island. Big mistake, he went away. And as I already told you last week, the family of Napoleon were coming from San Miniato. San Miniato is a town 5 minutes from here. The family, not Napoleon. An uncle of him were living there. He was a bishop, important bishop. So if you go to San Miniato, you will see there is Piazza Bonaparte, Bonaparte Square, and the Palace of Bonaparte. While if you go to Elba Island, you will see the home where Napoleon were imprisoned after his defeat in Russia. Another important trip you can do, following this thread of the Etruscan civilization, you can go south. In south of Siena, there are Crete Senesi that are famous. If you see a postcard of Tuscany, you will see the rows of cypress tree, the hills, the sweet hills. Okay, these are Crete Senesi, if you want to see. Even Queen Elizabeth and Mick Jagger have the home there. After you cross the nice countryside, you arrive in Chiusi. Clusium was an ancient town of Etruscan, very important. Etruscan didn't have an empire. They had a confederation of city-states, like Greeks. They had 12 important cities, so it's called Dodecapolis. One was Chiusi, Clusium. In Chiusi, there is a underground town, because there are the sewers that for the first time the Etruscan built, and now you can visit because people of Chiusi live there. They go in the underground, they make their business in the underground. If you want to buy cigarettes, you go under the home of the shop, and you take and you leave the money over there. It's very interesting, you can see. And in Clusium, in Chiusi, there is the most important museum about Etruscan civilization. One is there, another one is in Volterra, is another town quite near to Italy. So let's stop with that, with the history lesson. And I don't know, I think for today it can be enough. There is another thing I want to say about that. That introduced me to another important things to do when you are in Italy, thermal baths. Because, as you know, the Romans were fond of thermal baths, but they took this good habit from the Etruscans, of course. So, if you go in the south, in the Crete Senesi, as I told you before, you will find places like Bagno Vignoni that are so nice, very tiny towns, but with a big bath of Etruscan, built by Etruscans. And there are the modern spa too, if you want to enjoy massage, body massage, and the hot waters and the steam. Is a wonderful place to relax. So, my advice is two kind of trips. One to the seaside to enjoy Elba Island, Baratti and Populonia. The other one is south, Crete Senesi, Bagno Vignoni, the spa, the thermal baths, and Clusium, Chiusi, with the museum and the underground town. These are my advice. If you want to follow, you will tell me what's your opinion, okay? Okay, so I think that for today we can stop. I wait for your comments and your questions. I will answer if I can, of course, and I will try to follow your advices if you want to ask me something. So see you next week. Enjoy the weekend, and let's hope to see it together. Important. If you are interested in the Black Friday offer, or in arranging together a viewing trip of the home, if you are intention to buy home, please check on the website, both Toscana Village site or Caravan in the Sun site. You will find all the information to contact us and start this new adventure. Okay, that's all. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you for your attention. Hope you enjoyed, and see you soon. Goodbye.